gorgeous beings. Welcome back to Shelter in the Storm with A Course in Miracles lessons 41. Okay, we're just finishing off a section or part 4, Error and the Ego, of chapter 3. So I'll just reread a couple of lines from where we were last night or yesterday. Perception always involves some misuse of mind, because it brings the mind into areas of uncertainty. The mind is very active. When it chooses to be separated, it chooses to perceive. Until then, it wills only to know. Afterwards, it can only choose ambiguously. And the only way out of ambiguity is clear perception. The mind returns to its proper function only when it wills to know. This places it in the service of spirit, where perception is changed. The mind chooses to divide itself when it chooses to make its own levels, because it is from spirit that it derives its whole power to make or create. Even in miscreation, the mind is affirming its source, or it would merely cease to be. This is impossible because the mind belongs to spirit, which God created and which is therefore eternal. The ability to perceive made the body possible because you must perceive something and with something. That is why perception involves an exchange or translation, which knowledge does not need. The interpretive function of perception, a distorted form of creation, then permits you to interpret the body as yourself in an attempt to escape from the conflict you have induced. Spirit, which knows, could not be reconciled with this loss of power because it is incapable of darkness. This makes spirit almost inaccessible to the mind and entirely inaccessible to the body. Thereafter, spirit is perceived as a threat because light abolishes darkness merely by showing you it is not there. Truth will always overcome error in this way. This cannot be an active process of correction because, as I have already emphasized, knowledge does not do anything. It can be perceived as an attack, but it cannot attack. What you perceive as its attack is your own vague recognition that knowledge can always be remembered, never having been destroyed. God and his creations remain in surety, and therefore know that no miscreation exists. Truth cannot deal with errors that you want. I was a man who remembered spirit and its knowledge. As a man, I did not attempt to counteract error with knowledge, but to correct error from the bottom up. I demonstrated both the powerlessness of the body and the power of the mind. By uniting my will with that of my Creator, I naturally remembered spirit and its real purpose. I cannot unite your will with God's for you, but I can erase all misperceptions from your mind if you will bring it under my guidance. Only your misperceptions stand in your way. Without them, your choice is certain. Sane perception induces sane choosing. I cannot choose for you. but I can help you make your own right choice. Many are called, but few are chosen. Should be, all are called, but few choose to listen. Therefore, they do not choose right. The chosen ones are merely those who choose right sooner. Right minds can do this now, and they will find rest unto their souls. God knows you only in peace, and this is your reality. Okay, so that's that section of the text. Let's move on to lesson 41. God goes with me wherever I go. Today's idea will eventually overcome completely the sense of loneliness and abandonment all the separated ones experience. Depression is an inevitable consequence of separation. So are anxiety, worry, a deep sense of helplessness, misery, suffering, and intense fear of loss. The separated ones have invented many cures for what they believe to be the ills of the world. But the one thing they do not do is to question the reality of the problem. Yet its effects cannot be cured because the problem is not real. The idea for today has the power to end all this foolishness forever. And foolishness it is, despite the serious and tragic forms it may take. Deep within you is everything that is perfect, ready to radiate through you and out into the world. It will cure all sorrow and pain and fear and loss, because it will heal the mind that thought these things were real and suffered out of its allegiance to them. You can never be deprived of your perfect holiness, because its source goes with you wherever you go. You can never suffer, because the source of all joy goes with you wherever you go. You can never be alone, because the source of all life goes with you wherever you go. Nothing can destroy your peace of mind, because God goes with you wherever you go. We understand that you do not believe all this. How could you, when the truth is hidden deep within, under a heavy cloud of insane thoughts, dense and obscuring, yet representing all you see? Today, we will make our first real attempt to get past this dark and heavy cloud, and to go through it to the light beyond. There will be only one long practice period today. In the morning, as soon as you get up, if possible, sit quietly for some 3 to 5 minutes, with your eyes closed. At the beginning of the practice period, repeat today's idea very slowly, then make no effort to think of anything. Try, instead, to get a sense of turning inward, past all the idle thoughts of the world. Try to enter very deeply into your own mind, keeping it clear of any thoughts that might divert your attention. From time to time, you may repeat the idea if you find it helpful. But most of all, try to sink down and inward, away from the world and all the foolish thoughts of the world. You are trying to reach past all these things. You are trying to leave appearances and approach reality. It is quite possible to reach God. In fact, it is very easy, because it is the most natural thing in the world. You might even say it is the only natural thing in the world. The way will open if you believe that it is possible. This exercise can bring very startling results, even the first time it is attempted, and sooner or later it is always successful. We will go into more detail about this kind of practice as we go along. But it will never fail completely, and instant success is possible. Throughout the day, use today's idea often, repeating it very slowly, preferably with eyes closed. Think of what you are saying, what the words mean. Concentrate on the holiness that they imply about you, on the unfailing companionship that is yours, on the complete protection that surrounds you. You can indeed afford to laugh at fear thoughts, remembering that God goes with you wherever you go. Well, that is a happy thought, isn't it? All right, let's go on with Jesus Commentary for Lesson 41. God goes with me wherever I go. Even out and about in my little red cub, my puppy dog. You are blessed beings, indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. This is the most basic truth you can tell yourself all day long. That you're not alone. You are not alone. I am not alone. God is with me. That thought brings you peace, instead of accusing yourself of being stupid, alone, abandoned, hateful, or judgmental. To say, I am never alone. God is with me, is a wonderful gift to your mind, is a wonderful gift to give your mind, because it connects you to all that is loving. When you align yourself with this knowledge and the truth, you are at one with God all the time and never abandoned. You feel wonderful because it is true. Remember, your guidance system responds to truth with positive emotional feedback. It responds to untruth with negative emotional feedback. So if you say, I am always alone, I have been abandoned and nobody loves me, you get a strong negative emotional feedback from guidance saying, oh dear one, you are so wrong. Don't do that to yourself. And you feel bad. You have never been taught the proper interpretation of your emotional guidance system. You feel good when you are on point, when you accurately think in alignment with truth. The thought that God goes with you wherever you go is one of the most truthful statements in which you can align your mind. God is with you wherever you go because you are a holy son of God. You are a holy child of God. You are a holy daughter of God, if that is the wording that you would like us to speak. Then we will do that for you. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and nothing is more rewarding than to be at peace, because you know you are connected to source energy, all that is, and that is the truth. Suicide and depression separate you from truth. You are never separated from God. You can, with your powerful creative minds, believe you are. And so you will suffer. It does not mean it's true. You will never be abandoned, even in death. Even if you attempt suicide, you will not be abandoned. You will be picked up in the arms of angels, taken home, nurtured, and looked after until you are ready to come down again, once again, to learn the lessons you are unable to learn. I am that one you know as Jesus. There is all-pervasive forgiveness for any errors you make. We want you to understand that, truly, in every fiber of your being. No matter what you have done, no matter what you have said, no matter what mistakes you have made, because of the distortions you carry in your mind. You always have forgiveness, and God is always with you. We will speak to you again tomorrow. Blessings, dearest ones.